to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
If you're the type that feels you've done the best in life and you have arrived, then we leave you alone. This is not for you. But if you're the kind that feels, you know what, there's growth that I need to get to, there's a success I've not achieved, there's a significance that is calling out and I want to work towards it. Now, this is where we talk as a community. This is where we talk about the tips. This is where we give you our life experiences, what we have gone through, the decisions that we have made. And you don't have to be the greatest person on earth. No, every one of us or each one of us has an experience, and I would be honored, so honored, to host you one day to also share with us your experience so that we can learn from you. So if you need to do that, please reach out to us. All our social media handles will be able to get in touch with you, because I believe that we can learn from everyone and anyone at any level, at any status, and we can be able to rejuvenate and change our lives. So welcome. In this episode, we are with the one, Mrs. Kwagala. Mrs. Kwagala Fiona, aka 50 pounds. Oh, yeah. Now, that's the very first name I got to know about you. And I think we had held a meeting somewhere, and people were introducing themselves, and then 50 pounds. I'm like, what is 50 pounds?
I know.
Is it money? Is it, what was it? I even didn't know what to make of it. But over the years, yeah, I've gotten to see the pounds following the name. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Looking gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you.
As always.
Thank you so much.
As always. So this conversation, I just want us to give hope to people who want to reach out to a certain kind of lifestyle and significance, and they are not yet there, but drawing from our experiences and more so the bad, because people talk about the good,
yeah.
and they forget about the different situations. It doesn't have to be, you know, the kind of deadly thing, but we all go through situations that we believe we grew out of. It was a hard one, it was bad, it was a rough patch, but I was able to climb out of it. I am not where I want to be, but again, I'm not where I used to be. And the lessons in between are the ones that are very crucial to a person that is starting their personal growth journey, or a person that is deciding to change their lives, or a mind shift change. Very crucial. Those are the lessons that I want us to draw. So take us.
Oh, Marino, which one should I share first?
I know the number of them.
Yeah,
no, just from where, at your point, at what point in life did you feel like, you know what, this is rough. This is not good. Maybe you didn't lose the hope, but you were at the verge of, will my life ever become anything?
I haven't had an opportunity to have such a kind of experience where I really felt like I can't make anything.
Giving up.
With my life. I've always had that hanging hope and faith that somehow things will get better. And I think it's because I'm a believer. Being a believer and anchoring my heart and soul so much on the word of God, there is a lot of things that I've believed for and I'm still believing for, that I've hoped for and I'm still hoping for, that I've never seen tangibly.
But you don't give up because of that hope.
I've not given up because of the hope that I see. But at least I can remember very well that finishing up school, I did a course that I did not really want to do. I did accounts. I went and did SCCA, and this wasn't something I loved from deep my heart. In the depth of my heart, I've always wanted people helping. I've always wanted to work with people. I want to see one life change. I want to see a person who can stand and testify that you are helpful in my life. So I didn't really want to work with computers.
But did you know that from way back then? That's what you wanted to do?
I think by the time I signed up for accounts, I didn't know. I didn't know. I wouldn't point a finger to it very well.
But you felt there is something.
But I felt like there is a vacuum.
Yeah.
There is something lacking. There is something I don't really get. But this is not, at least this is not the path I'm supposed to take. So doing my course, on the way, actually, I was like, no, this is not it. But I needed someone to help me, show me that this is not it. So doing a professional course right from senior 6 was also a thing of its kind. One of the people I was working with, a fashion house, a lady called Auntie Q, and I was working in her shop all through the day, and then later in the evening, I go to school. So in my shop, I call it my shop because this lady gave me the shop and sat back and relaxed. I would just record for her my sales. What do I need? I need to change everything. And she sat back. I was running the shop by myself. So, but in my shop, I used to play gospel music, having my books available and read. So there is a lady who was doing counseling. I think at Kest. But every time she bypassed my shop, she would hear music and see me reading. And then one day she came in and asked me, what exactly are you doing? You are a young girl. Why are you here? What are you studying? Are you in school or something? I'm like, I'm in school and I'm doing accounts. And she's like, when I look at you, I don't know so much about you. But for the few times I've passed by this shop, I think you belong to either a theological school or something about counseling with interaction with you. I see you. You're so kind. You need to be dealing with people vividly. I felt like this was a prophet speaking into my life. Actually, that was the last time I spoke to her. She's called Mrs. Jean Semafamu. She stays in US. So she tells me, I think you need to go at Kest and check out a counseling course. I went because I felt her voice very vivid in my heart. Checked it out and I liked it. I said, this is counseling. But then now, coming back to my brother, telling him,
I want to change from
accounting to now to counseling was a hassle. How will I do this? So because I was working, I thought I'll figure it out. When they pay me, I'll be able to pay for myself. Let me juggle the two. Do the accounts as I also enroll because and do counseling because I think this is what I want to do. I was already doing some people helping things. So, but when I talked to my brother, to my surprise, I think he had realized I was forcing myself into doing what I was doing. He was very okay. And he told me, it is well, I'll support you all through. So for me, transitioning all the way from a course that everyone was talking about and is talking about, and I'm not saying accounts is bad, by the way, but leaving it for going for counseling and counseling. Now, you tell people that I'm a counselor then 2016, like what is that, you know? So the decision of crossing over, now getting into counseling, not knowing even, is there anyone I'll help? What am I going to do with this entire thing? My heart was just punching for that one person I can talk to and reach out to and preach to. So I was glad that I was directed into a theological school because I'm a believer all that long. And I was studying counseling with a variety of other things. So it was helpful. And studying counseling.
So for you, it was a decision of finding out what the hardest thing in there was you being able to find where your heart belonged. That for so long, your heart was in space, that even when you were doing something, like so many people, you're in a relationship, but you feel there is an inkling in your mind that this is not where I am supposed to be.
You don't know what exactly is the right thing.
Exactly.
But at least your heart tells you
that where you are.
You know, it's more of telling you, someone lying you. You don't know the truth.
But they're lying to you.
You're telling that they are lying. When they ask you, okay, what is the truth? You're like, don't know. I don't know, but at least what I feel is that is a lie. I felt like it was a lie for me to do what I was doing. The truth was I was supposed to belong somewhere. And I felt that heart when I belonged there. But when I went to school, surprisingly, I studied the things, I got the information, I got the theology, I got the notes. But again, it wasn't practical for me to apply. You know, when you go to school and they teach you
have the theory,
the SOP, and you go and put the statement of, you go and balance the books and show people results. This is it. You know, in accounts, it was very tangible. You've eliminated something, it's eliminated. You've omitted, it is omitted. You know, it wasn't that practical for me at school.
You felt like, okay, this is a bit better than where I was.
Yes, I
but
felt like
again,
there was some clarity.
this is not the entire package.
Exactly. There was some clarity. I felt like, yes, I'm on the path. But the light was in bits. In bits, like it wasn't clearly out there. So it is at that time I'm a good listener. I love listening. And I was listening in Spirit. I've listened into 96, but I need to be awarded for being
for being a listener, an ardent listener.
An ardent listener. And then one time I just bumped onto a radio show. I think it was called Life Fix then. And that's where I bumped into you. I felt like, you know, when you listen to someone speaking, you don't know them.
Which year is that?
It must be about 2016 or
2016.
I don't know if it's 2016, but some good years ago. 2016? Maybe, I don't remember. But then I bumped into Life Fix and I felt like this is another place I belong. My heart was at home. So I continued listening in. I captured the number and I love to give feedback to people who do well.
Yes.
So I kept on sending messages. Hey, I loved the show. This is what I picked up. I loved the show. This is what I picked out. But it wasn't long when the show got off. I don't know how it went off Spirit, but I just tuned in and I wouldn't listen in anymore. So not listening in anymore. I was like, okay, I think I lost her. I would see the short videos, but I didn't follow up. Somehow I didn't follow up to get to know where it is. Yeah. But when one of my friends, Paul, he's called Paul, tells me, we have a hangout as listeners of Bob FM. Now, I had never heard about Bob FM. And he told me, and I'm sure the person I'm going to meet, you would love to meet. He's introducing me to a person I know, but he doesn't know that I know the person. So he's like, I'm like, Sunday is for church. What about the hangout? What is there? So he tells me, it's a get together of listeners of Bob FM, but we are listening to the coach program. And I'm like, who is the presenter? He's like, Bahati Hilda. I'm like, Bahati Hilda is my person. Let's go. He's like, have you known Bahati? I'm like, yes. Do you listen to Bob FM? I'm like, no. Where did you know her from? I'm like, I listened to her sometime back on Life Fix.
And now I remember that's the first time I had the name 50 pounds. You were even seated at the back. I don't remember where we were, but I remember you were seated at the back at Kati Kati restaurant. So you see, it's a journey. The reason as to why I'm bringing you on this journey is to know that between the conception of our dreams and our hunger to grow to the place where we want to be, there are prices to be paid, there are action points to be actually executed, and there are decisions that have to be made. Growth is not automatic.
Oh, yeah.
We're still here together.
Spirit TV, a place for you. The biggest Friday night Christian party just got better. The Burnout, live on Spirit TV and 96.6 Spirit FM. With DJ Easy Samuel, featuring guest DJs, artists, and hype men. This Friday at 10 p.m. It's gonna be funky and a blast. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Too much consumption of gospel music is good for your health. Please dance responsibly. Gospel music is viable for persons of all ages. All ages. Spirit TV, a place for you.
This is how they treat Jesus. He heals the man on the Sabbath.
Tune in and get enlightened, motivated, and encouraged through the teachings of the man of God, Stephen Furtick.
See, what the man said reflects a broken system, and it reflects a bad story. The devil has got some of us telling ourselves some really bad stories. No one wants to help me. Everybody's out to get me every time I try. When you've seen him move the mountains in your life, you look at the next mountain, you look at the next need.
Watch Stephen Furtick and Elevation Church live right here on Spirit TV. Spirit TV, a place for you.
Do you feel that empty feeling?
The Country Gospel.
It's about the melody and the sound and the voice and the sincerity of it.
Country music is truth-telling.
It's everything. Hillbilly, it's blues, it's jazz.
You can dance to it, you can cry to it.
The people who built this country, that's where country and blues come from.
It has something in it for everybody.
Country music comes from right in here, this heart and soul that we all have.
Let me tell you about my Jesus.
The Country Gospel, happening this Sunday, 2 to 3 p.m. here on Spirit TV. A place for you. Spirit TV, a place for you.
We're about to move heaven. The Bible says the fervent, effectual prayers of righteous people, not perfect people, but people who are in right standing with God, they work. I need us to pray with faith right now. God, we pray that everything that comes to suck and to take away, we tear down those strongholds right now in the name of Jesus. You said that we could loose things on earth and we could bind things on earth. It's about provision. It's about my child needs a miracle. No amount of money can do that for MJ. I need God to... I'm about to this is getting personal for me right now. I need God as a provider. We say that, but we don't think about it like that. We don't live like that. See, even in our communication, it's like, man, I need God. I've been struggling through stuff, so I need God. You can get the person that's from somebody who's struggling with addiction all the way to the person in the penthouse. Like, just want to give honor to God as I accept this award.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
Welcome to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
Okay, I know some of us are at the crossroads. We don't know what kind of decision we need to make in order to go to the next level of our lives. The reason as to why we bring these conversations is that it will draw a bit of light and clarity in some of those. And maybe that's not the utmost clarity that you need. But you know, when someone flashes a torch on the next step, not on the whole staircase, but on the next step, and you're able to take that step. And that step could be the beginning of your climbing higher and higher and higher. And you just don't want to remain in one place. So I remember Katikati, everyone is introducing themselves. I hear your name, you were seated at the back, 50 pounds, and you volunteered that very day to even do something.
Oh yeah, the coming together, the people that came around said we need to organize ourselves. They're like, we need to create leadership amongst ourselves so that we can be able to do this more
that
often.
very day.
That very day, they wanted to do this more often. Now remember, for them, they're listeners of Bob FM. I just came escorting a friend to this meeting who told me that there is something you would like. So we choose.
So that means, I don't want us to miss on anything because we usually say that you're the average of the 5 people
around
in your life. Now that means if Paul was your friend and he was going to this meeting, him influencing you to even want to go to that meeting, you realize that you met something in that meeting that you needed, but if your friend had not lured you to go to the meeting, chances are you would have missed out. Maybe you'd have taken a different path.
Exactly, exactly. Because when I got there, we needed to elect leadership, and then people started contesting chairperson, finance, what we put up posts, and you can't imagine I contested for being a chairperson.
I remember.
But everyone was so excited about my name. It was something that excited them. Yes, 50 pounds. It was new to their ears,
nice
very
to
fresh,
hear.
nice to hear, and I was also so free and open to them. So everyone wanted to know, what about this girl? What about this girl? So long story short, I left the place being the chairperson. And becoming a chairperson meant I would directly be in touch with you to coordinate and get information from you, draw it back to these people. So this is where the journey of working with you close.
Wow.
Starts.
You know, I didn't have a clear memory of that. I didn't have a clear memory of how the inception, the start of it all.
That is how it started. And so when we started, we thought that the radio program was not enough. We need to bring the radio program closer to the people. We need events. And so back to you, by that time you were pregnant. So you need to give birth and then get off the leave. But by the time the baby was about 2 months, as early as 2 months, by the way, you inspire me in that family part of life, because I've always wanted to have a very prosperous family and continue to also impact other people. So baby was about 2 months, we hosted our very first event.
Yeah.
We actually first hosted an event when you were pregnant, heavily pregnant, at the plaza. And we hosted that event.
Yeah,
it was a success.
It was a good one.
People turned up very well, and I was very happy. The organization, everything, you were very heavy. Then you gave birth. 2 months in, we hosted another event, and it was also a success. So the crew that we were working with, the likes of Dennis, Philip, Emma,
Nakato.
When I mentioned those names now, you remember?
Yes.
There is the diva.
Yes, God's diva, yes.
God's diva. So we put together something very beautiful.
Yeah, there was Sarah, there was, we had quite many of them,
Yes, so we started the journey, and we loved it. Now, Ben here was driving us, because we used to do those events till late.
Yeah.
So finishing up, getting the lights back, getting this sorted until about 11 when we are still at the job. And so maybe this developed some commitment to you. You saw people, like I imagine myself then, I look at those photos, very little, very young, you know, but very devoted and committed. We would go back home late, and sometimes Ben had to drive. Sometime he dropped me off home, back deep in Kawanda, Chirinyabigo. And when he reached at my place, he said, Yuga,
this is where you come from.
Where you come from to come? I honor you. He was so surprised. But then he also knew that he was a hero in himself, because I mean, driving me, dropping me all that far, and he had to get back to his place.
Yeah.
So we started the journey.
The sacrifices we make.
The sacrifice. And I want to honestly say this. We weren't doing this for pay.
No, nothing. Not even a single penny.
Volunteering, but very available.
And I want us to be able to resound some of these lessons, because some of us feel that whichever thing I want to touch or do has to have some pay, some form of pay to it. Not knowing that when destiny calls, most of the times we will get into places where we need to serve in order to grow ourselves. That if you're outside of that environment and that space, maybe you're not going to find yourself as fast as you would have found yourself. So that means you need to be able to get somewhere, serve, give of yourself, commit, learn a few things. And by the way, there is nothing like a loss. I know that I have done that myself. Serve, and give of yourself, even when you're not even waiting to be recognized or even appreciated. But the appreciation comes in form of your own growth.
Exactly. It wasn't anything about being appreciated, because many times you used to leave without before everything else. But for us, we had to step back and make sure is everything intact, is everything done. And for me, my satisfaction was the testimonies people were giving, how their lives were transformed. I actually don't appear in so many of those photos. Unless otherwise, I didn't like to be anywhere. I just wanted to serve. I was just so open to how can I be of help in this. I felt like this is leading somewhere very beautiful. And I would gladly be part of this story, even if I'm not paid with money. I just want to be part of this unfolding of a beautiful story.
And that is respecting the seasons. Knowing that this is, because the season will never announce itself, that, oh, this is a learning season for you. But again, you knowing that, you know what, let me do what I need to do right now. I don't mind about the next step. And half the time, most of those cases, when I was in your position doing the same thing, serving, I was not thinking about let me serve so that I can get to this place.
Exactly.
No, like you serve without a sense of direction.
Exactly.
Your heart is just thirsty to give more.
Exactly. For the biggest time, my heart was just thirsty. What can I give? And, you know, I don't have so much to give, but with what I have, with
I have my time. I have my
with
energy.
my time,
Yes.
what can I do? What can I give? And I did that for some time. So lockdown hitting, we prepared very successful events. And then lockdown hitting, so I got married. One of the most blessing moments of my life is the fact that you attended church when I was
working. During COVID. Yes.
And you sat at my reception to the end.
Yeah.
To the end with your husband.
I was determined to do that.
It blessed my soul so much. So and actually the people who were around were like, you girl, you brought Bahati and you made her sit here through the entire event. It blessed my soul so much. So through that time, getting married, you know, getting pregnant. Again, I was cut off a little bit because there isn't any activity
during COVID and what.
But I was following you on social media and seeing what you're doing. So you called for the first cohort for the Accelerated Mentorship Program. I was seeing, but I didn't subscribe. I was in my early months of pregnancy and I was just in my moods. So I didn't subscribe, but I was following. I would watch on YouTube. I would see what exactly is going on. But I was like, okay, it's okay. It's fine. Then in the second cohort, I was preparing my $100. I need to sign up for this thing because I just believed in you. When I met you, one of the things that got clear in my heart was you have a part to play in my destiny. Again, I didn't know what exactly are you going to do, but my heart just felt connected. I don't know if you've had that person you meet in your life and you feel like,
I need this person for the long term.
For the long term, not just for this moment. So as I was still contemplating about, I need to raise this $100 and subscribe for this, you come into my inbox. Tim and I have decided to offer you, we have a program that we've designed and please come on the program. I remember I said, what? This is God.
So you were thinking of signing up?
Because I was thinking of signing up. I was pregnant, heavy, and I was like, but I'm complaining. I should shift my complaining into something active. I think I should sign up for a course that I can be doing in the meantime. And so getting on the mentorship that time was so timely because every time I would not have sleep in the night, I would watch my videos. I would make my notes. I would be busy. I was active. Before we knew the roundtables were in, so I would have something to do. I wasn't complaining at all. It helped me go through my pregnancy time.
I remember you did roundtables until the day you were supposed to even go to the hospital.
Actually, it was from a round table to the hospital to giving birth.
And back to a round table.
And back to a round table because after giving birth, I had people home helping me with everything, the baby, this. So I was like, okay, now I'm here, just redundant, doing nothing. With all the impact I have in my head, let me host roundtables. And then I got back to roundtables even 2 weeks after birth.
Because I remember everyone was like, can't you rest, sleep? But you were like, no, I need to get back and do this work.
Yeah.
So I want us to be able to draw the lessons from this beautiful journey, from a place where, because what I hear from this is from a state of a bit of confusion and being at a crossroad where you needed to make a decision, a vivid decision about your life. But you're trying out this, you're trying out that, you're working here, you're doing all these things, to a place where you made the decision and felt like, this falls a bit in under what I want. Not clear, but what I want.
Yeah.
And then to you making the decision to follow through, and be able to be consistent. We follow people.
Exactly.
You follow someone today and tomorrow you don't know, what's happening. And we lack the commitment bit of it, that you commit to do something 1 week and the other week, like, we are so much distracted.
You don't show up, yeah.
We are so much distracted, like there's so many things that are happening. Either a boyfriend takes you off course, or a group of friends takes you off course. So we get consumed by things that should never have consumed us in the first place. So I want us to draw these vivid lessons and be able to share them. What would you tell someone out there that is starting out, that needs clarity about who they are supposed to be, what they are supposed to be doing? There is a 50-year-old that has worked for the past 30 years, and for the past 30 years they felt, this is not where I belong.
Yeah.
But again, they've stuck
Taking the
on because of the
decision.
check at the end of the month, and they're thinking, maybe, I don't think everyone has it figured out. So let me also stay in my mess.
I think one thing I would first of all run back to is the fact that you need to really pray. Like I said, it wasn't that clear to me that this is the right decision I'm supposed to take. But my prayer life was too clear by the time I was taking this decision. I was so given out to the Lord, and I was asking, that song, Yesu wana Peter, like, when you call me Lord, I will answer.
I will say yes.
I was in that stage of my life as a young girl where I was so devoted. I'm like, God, I want to serve. And I was praying. So the first thing is, commit your life to prayer, because we are not sovereign as human beings. God knows it all. He gives us bit by bit. The path of the righteous just shines brighter and brighter, like a brighter light, but it goes bright and brighter from glory to another glory. So when you give your commitment to God, that means you have given him the way to be a leader, to lead you, to become a Lord in your life. And this will help you big time, because even the places where you don't have clarity, you'll be like, God, I don't have it clear. So you will have that spirit within you. Because for me, what helped was that I felt that my spirit wasn't settled in what I was doing. Was it good? Yes. Is it good up to date? Yes. But personally, my spirit wasn't settled in. So listen to yourself.
Your intuition.
Listen
how you feel
to yourself. There is a reason as to why you feel like even if it is a well-paying job,
you're not settled.
You're not settled. There is a reason as to why
you resent everything.
You struggle going to work.
Yeah.
There is a reason as to why it is tiresome for you, because something meant for you shouldn't make you. You are tired, but you rest in peace. You get tired in peace. You feel like,
I love it.
It is paying.
Even when
this is exactly what I used to receive every time I came to the events. Tired, late, but I feel fulfilled. From the testimonies I hear, I feel like this is it. So listen to yourself. If you feel like it is not very clear to you, but you are somewhere there in between, listen deeper, listen in deeper. And then if you are able to get a clarity of a voice that comes through that wilderness in which you are like, I want to hear, I want to know.
And someone says something.
Follow through. Sometimes we go to the prayer closet and we wait for God to speak
in a big voice.
A very big voice. And
with an earthquake.
Hey, you Fiona, move from here and go here. Honor people.
Wow.
God works through people. God loves people. This is all he has. Yes, the world and its fullness belongs to him. But let me tell you, the greatest treasure he has is us.
People, yeah.
And wherever he wants to deliver anything to you, he will work through a person. So people who talk to you, the circle you have, when you're listening to them, pay attention and be attentive. You will hear someone speak, and you will hear that this is not just Hilda.
It will resonate with you.
It will resonate with your deeps inside, that this is not just Hilda speaking. Whenever I would serve, I would feel like, continue on this path. Continue on this path.
You'd have the urge.
I would have internally. The urge internally.
That you can't explain to anyone else.
I can't explain it because
anyone would ask you, are they giving you money? No. So why are you going?
My brother, I send greetings to him. I was always asking, but how much money do those people pay you? You're so committed. You show up every other day. When I'm pregnant, he's like, you are pregnant, you need to rest. And I'm like, no, I'll show up. Even if I sit somewhere, I'll be somewhere. How much do they pay you? They have to be paying you some good amount of money. Now it's the time I'm breaking the news to him that it wasn't about any payment.
Yeah.
Actually, I was telling him, they pay me, I'm happy. But
to get him off your...
Yes, to get him off my neck. I was just having it very clear in my heart that I needed to honor a person who was on a path of where I am going. Yet I wasn't clear on it that this is what you're going to get out of it.
Yes.
I feel like this is too real. And people experience this in their lives. You are in a place where you're like, you want 10 steps out of it.
Yes.
But they're not 10 steps out of it. The light will never come to you clearly.
Yes.
Listen to the people.
The whole map will not be given to you.
Yes. Listen in. And if you feel like what she said is exactly what I need to follow. Follow. As you follow through something, you as you move forward, you will see some light leading you forward. Now, the other thing I would say is that focus. There are a lot of counselors. There are a lot of people doing the same thing you are doing. But for me, because my heart had already given me some direction that this is where you're headed, I committed.
And focused.
And said, this is...
I have locked in.
I'm locking in. And so I didn't divide my attention to anything else. I was committed. Artwork is out. I'm pushing it.
You didn't spread yourself so thin.
No. Artwork is out. I'm pushing it. We have this. I'm pushing it. I am committed. Mark you, I'm doing other things of myself.
Yes.
I run a fashion house.
Yes.
And so I have work that
your
pays
wife,
me.
you
Yes,
have
I'm
children.
a wife, I have children. I run a homeschool. I do other things. But this so clearly was pointing me so very, very evidently into my purpose.
Wow.
So my focus was unto it and is unto it to date, like single focused.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
You are here.
Your weekends are covered with a full package of praise and worship. But most importantly, the word. On Saturdays, don't miss Mavuno Kids at 9:30 a.m.
Who was the greatest comedian in the Bible?
Shake Off, 10 a.m.
Omutima ogujaguza dagala dungi.
And on Sundays, the Business Garage at 7:30 a.m.
In other words, the price of the eggs was very cheap.
Sunday Garage, 9 a.m.
Why is it that you're most active on a WhatsApp group of 30 years ago?
The Fearless Hour at 11 a.m.
Talk to your pastor, talk to your leader, and let them know what's going on.
And Watoto Service at 1 p.m.
It was the ransom, it was Jesus who died instead of you.
All the praise, so I will trust in you. I will keep praising you through the night.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
This weekend, don't allow your kids to get bored. Let them enjoy in the comfort of your living room together with the Mavuno Kids.
When does Christmas come before Easter?
How is that even possible? Christmas is always at the end of the year.
Don't miss the fun, music, Bible stories, and lessons from amazing teachers.
Everyone expected Jesus to come in like this strong king with soldiers and armies.
Mavuno Kids, this Saturday, 9:30 to 10 a.m. here on Spirit TV.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
Well, what are a woman's major needs in marriage and what are a man?
Well, marriage is what you make of it.
Yeah.
And you never stop working on it. Yeah.
Right.
Because what the things you truly care about, it's like a garden. You can't just plant something and expect it to be okay. You have to continually tend to it.
So when God created marriage in Genesis chapter 2, the first thing God said in Genesis 2, 24 and 25 is, for this cause a man will leave his father and mother. He'll cleave or be joined to his wife. They two shall become one.
So what is the kingdom of God and when will the kingdom come?
We wait. And God wants us to live in abundance and fullness for everything He has for us.
Every time. That's why I don't believe in waiting. I believe in being present in the moment.
And I think pastors mean well, and obviously we want everyone to go to heaven. We don't want anybody to miss the opportunity to spend eternity with God and an eternity with Jesus.
You really haven't been where you needed to be, and it's kind of a wake-up call, and the Lord's speaking to your heart, and you know that God has something for you to accomplish before He returns.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
Your official home for the most funky and hyped Christian youth entertainment. Youth talk with fun conversations that will get you glued to your telly. The fashion segment for all your latest trends in fashion and all that's popping in that drip corner.
Man, if you're wearing class, make sure that all of you putting on class, you know?
Our movie talk that reviews the latest blockbusters trending at the box office and beyond. Fly DJ mixes and cuts showcasing the finest in gospel music, hip-hop, R&B, dancehall, Afropop. So join in with your squad and let's squad up.
Spirit TV, a place for you.
Welcome to Bahati, talking about real issues that are affecting you as an individual. Insights about financial and personal growth, plus better relationships. And now, Bahati.
You amaze me all the time. Sometimes I'm like, how does she do this? Like, how does she do this?
I wake up late in the night and I'm thinking about this. And I'm like, how do we better this? The other time I realized this didn't work out. Can we do this better? Can we do the other better? My focus is onto this one thing.
Wow.
Because my heart is convinced
Wow.
it is leading to a path that is
A
really
destiny
right.
bigger.
Yeah. So I think if you are out there and you are finding yourself, but you feel like, this may delay. This
Then
may
you
take
jump
long.
onto another
Then
one.
you're starting it and you're getting off. You're committing. As if they're realizing you're committed to this, then you're running out. As if they're realizing you're starting, you're person
You're using a
reliable,
lot of
you're
energy
using a
to
lot of
start and
energy.
stop and start and stop.
If you're able to listen to yourself, then focus and stay on that one path. When you stay on that one path, it will direct you. I tell my friends, the first time I felt that I was launched out was 2022, 18th June. This is
Tell
the day
me
you
about
hosted
it.
me. The first time I appeared on your set as a speaker.
Wow.
The coach experience.
Wow.
Next level. This was my first time to speak when you are in my audience. All the
And it
days.
was amazing.
I was backstage, preparing chairs, doing this and the other, maybe appearing on radio, but speaking with your audience one-on-one.
Yeah.
18th June, 2022.
Wow.
Now, someone doesn't relate that I'm talking
All the
about
years.
2060
I know. All the years
with
apart.
this person. Like,
The
don't
level
you
of
get tired?
patience, commitment, determination, and focus.
Aren't you tired? Don't you feel like you're worn out? But even that time when you told me you're coming to speak, I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I didn't show you that. Can you please, I would actually even suggest, let us host so and so. Let us have this one. Let us have this one. I wasn't anywhere desiring and looking for my way out.
Yeah.
But when you invited me, I told my friend Jemima and my brother that if you can be in the audience, I feel like this is a day that is going to change my life forever.
Wow.
And let me tell you, since that day, my life
I have seen you.
changed forever.
The exponential growth, the circles that you have created, the people that you have impacted. Sometimes you send me the people from the Focus tribe, and the way they are focused, I look at them and I'm like, Fiona is replicating himself. You know, when you're getting your spirit and planting it into other people, and you're getting them to desire the same level of commitment and focus and growth. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Like, to watch.
I've always
even
resounded
brings
it to them
tears
that,
to
you
my-
know what? Commitment beats intelligence.
Yep.
If you get committed unto something and you keep your eyes glued and your hands and your legs put onto that one thing, The only person that can fail you out is yourself.
Wow.
You are the only one who can disappoint yourself. But success is wide open for anyone who is willing to commit and focus and look at that one thing without trying to touch this and another. So for me, focusing and following and serving through all the time until you launched me out, I felt that I was ready.
Wow.
I felt like it was my due time. I got a confirmation in my heart that now it is time for you to
And now you
go
are everywhere
and
doing
impact
everything.
people's lives. Mark that I did not launch myself out. Every Elisha needs an Elijah. Even Jesus needs John the Baptist. So you need a mentor. You're not going to be able to figure out everything.
You know, in as much as I'm having these conversations and I'm having this conversation with you and we've moved this journey, like there are things that you say that beat my mind. I'm like, am I having this conversation with, am I having this conversation with you? Like what you say is so profound. It might sound so normal because many people have said it, but when it comes with the power of the tangible testimony
Someone
and the
who has
life that you have
experienced
lived,
it vividly,
it has a totally different meaning to it.
Yeah.
It goes beyond just talking about the word commitment and focus, and I can literally see commitment
when
and
you're looking
focus.
at me.
I know. Like you are the best description of those things.
Oh yeah. So for me, I say that the journey of self-discovery, the journey of finding yourself is a journey God just designed in a way that it is supposed to be a puzzle. It is not clear.
At the same time.
At the same time. But
piece by piece.
Piece by piece by piece. So you need people who are going ahead of you.
Yeah.
People who have gone where you want to go. People who have been there. People who can pull you back. Because for me, having my certificate in counseling, in Christian counseling, and not having tangible results, earning out of it, and to the point where now I shed you from my home, and I earn out of this journey, counseling and guidance. I wasn't earning out of it, but because of committing myself to a person who is doing it, learning from her own lessons, getting to see how she is doing it. Most of the lessons, I've even told you that before, that I have from you are not lessons of words. I have been lessons I've got because of being in the room, because of seeing how you do it. You know, Hilda, you're this kind of person who will say we are starting the event at 4, and you come at 4 when everything is not sorted, and you say we are starting. And you start. And so for me, I know we have to start. We have to go.
Whether we are ready or not.
There are no notes you've ever written. I don't have notes written anywhere. I learned that. You will never be ready to go. But when you are set to go and you are in the state, go. Clarity will come in as you're moving. You know, the lesson I always share that is so personal about you being a wife and the person I've seen in you, the celebrity kind, and then seeing the wife bit of it, and then the time I'm around you and your husband, with your husband, and how I see you treat your husband. Those are not lessons you share when you're coaching us. Me, I have learned them by just watching the horse. Your life not coming from I think I'm calling you to being very careful with your life when I'm around you because because me, I'm always taking notes. So you need a mentor. You need a person who he's not going to just give you notes. Go and do this and this and this. A person you're going to look up to. A person whose character is reputable. A person you're going to honor. A person you're going to be accountable to. A person who you can listen to. When they tell you, Fiona, come, I want to see you now. And you are that kind of person in my life. I wouldn't ask why, what, when. I would just say where, what time. I'll let everything aside just to come and settle that. You need that kind of person. Why? They will run ahead of you. I look at myself right now and I'm into Bahati so quick. I'll be a Bahati so soon. I don't want to be Bahati, I want to be Fiona.
Yes.
But I see this journey very clear.
Being unveiled in front of you.
So clear and effortlessly.
The carpet is being unfolded.
very effortlessly. I'm not striving. I'm not paving my way. How can I get into media?
You're flowing into it.
Effortlessly.
Wow.
Because I have a person who has just gone ahead of me.
Now I can have this conversation with 50 pounds, Mrs. Kwagala. I can have this conversation, I mean, for the whole day and the whole month, and we will still be speaking. Sometimes when I listen to her and watch her speak, I'm like, you know what? I think God has created a better version of me inside of her. Like she puts it out so clearly and so articulate. The things that people talk about me are the things that I actually talk about you. And I don't think I've told you that. But whenever I watch it, the sense of clarity with which you communicate and speak is amazing. And so we don't want to spend the whole night here. We love you, but we hope that you have taken the lessons. More than anything, that you have picked the lessons and you're going to apply them into. If you're in that season of a desert and you're feeling a bit of chaotic and confusion, yes, single out that one step that you can take. One step, whether it's to pray, whether it's to listen to the voice of God, whether it's your intuition, listening to people, you're going to need them, you're going to work with them. Make sure that you start somewhere. But most of all, you can actually join the community of winners. There's so many communities, so many spaces. For as long as it's a growth space, I would recommend that you join a growth space. We love you, and from us to you, bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Bahati comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9 p.m. here on Spirit TV. Bahati, bringing you knowledge, wisdom, financial and personal growth, better relationships leading to your transformation and elevation.